Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Tuesday. And so today for our video, we're going to make a angle card. And this card is using some of the designer series paper from the mini catalog called Flowering Fields. This paper is just really pretty. And I don't have the bundle that coordinates with it, but I am going to make the prettiest card, and I'm going to be using some butterflies. And when was the last time you pulled out your butterfly set? Been a while for me. So I'm going to be using Brilliant Wings dies, and hope that you like this card today. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is talk to you about how we're going to make the angle card. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, I want to use some stitch dies, but what stitch dies do I have that would work? So I went to my stitch rectangles, okay, and I pulled out a rectangle die, and when I open these, I hope they don't fall apart. Okay, so I picked the largest, so this has a lot of dies in it. I picked the largest rectangle, okay, so this biggest one, okay, I picked that one, and I laid it on a piece of the designer series paper. Okay, now to make the angle, I had to lay it on here kind of wonky. And I thought, is this going to run through the cut and emboss? Because it's kind of wide, right? But it just fit. So if you lay it on here properly, and I wanted the tulips to be straight, right? Because it's going to be an angle, but I wanted the tulips on the card to be straight. I didn't want them wonky. So my favorite word all of a sudden. At any rate, I cut it out and it worked out perfectly. So you can't use your mini cut and emboss, but you can use your big one. Just lay it on there, and it's going to go off at the bottom and the top, which is fine. No problems. So you're going to run that through your cut and emboss. And what you're going to end up with is this. Sorry. I should just bring water down here because never fails when I start to do a video, I get a dry throat. So when I cut it out, I got this, all right? And then I scored it at a 1/2 inch. So I just put it in my paper trimmer and I scored it at a 1/2 inch, and then I folded it. And that's going to be the flap of my card that's going to make the angle, okay? I do recommend either using a Post-it note or some kind of a sticky tape to hold that down while you run it through so it doesn't move. Be careful with what kind of tape you use because sometimes it's too sticky and it wants to stick to your designer series paper and then pull off the top layer. So be careful with that. All right. So this paper, as I said, is Flowering Fields. Oh, I love it. And so much of it is hard to pick because this is more the neutral side and then this is the gorgeous side. But for this card, I went with this. So this is actually going to make the angle of my card. I'm going to use a 1/2 sheet of Mango Melody. Isn't that so pretty? I mean, it's just bright. It's not as bright as yellow, but it's prettier than orange. It's better than Paper Pumpkin. It's beautiful. Paper Pumpkin. Pumpkin pie. Sorry. Pumpkin pie. I love it. And so I'm going to fold that in half, and that's going to be the base of my card. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this. So that was 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. And then this is just a little bit smaller. So this is 4 by 5.25. Oh, can't talk today. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to glue this down. Okay, and I'm thinking, how's this going to work? Is this going to actually work? Do I need to put this behind it? Yes, I do. I want that behind it. Yes, okay. So I'm going to go ahead before I glue that on. I'm going to think about this a little bit. I'm going to put this here. Okay, so there we go. Now I need to put a little more adhesive right here. I'm not getting ahead of myself on this, but I don't think I am. Okay, so So my plan was originally to not have this big border, but the way that I decided to do it, I think it'll work. Now, there's two ways you could do it. You could either just glue this straight down, okay, which would be a little different, or you could leave that as a flap and then still have the flap of your card. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Now, what I want to do now is I want to make sure that that's nice and crisp, okay? Now I'm going to use some circle dies. I'm going to use the layering circle dies, hoping that these dies don't go away, okay? As I'm filming this, this is for April, but I haven't seen the retirement list yet because I'm pre-recording this. So you will know by the time this comes out whether these circle dies are going to go away or not. So what I did was I picked a color that was in here, and I picked Poppy Parade. I'm going to have that. And then I picked white for my center part. So I cut out a circle of white, like that. So it's going to layer nicely. And then I ran the white through stripes and splatters. Embossing folder. So this is a 3D embossing folder. You can use your mini cut and emboss, or you can use your big one to cut that through. It's a 3D, so you just need your gray plate and the base plate. Okay, so I ran that through. Now I'm going to adhere those together. So hoping that those circles don't go away. I'm afraid. Okay. So we have a very small scalloped edge, okay? And I don't want to glue the whole thing down because part of this, if it was sticky, would stick to this. So I want to just glue part of it. So what I'm going to do is put some adhesive right here. And then I'm going to glue my circle down. Okay, so we have like that. No sticky right here. All right. Now you could use liquid glue if you want. I personally like Stampin' Seal. Some people don't. Some people don't like Stampin' Seal Plus. I like that. But at any rate, we'll make it work. Okay. So I could have actually moved this over more, but I think it's fine. I hope it's okay for you. All right. Now we want to cut out some butterflies. So yes, we have this whole thing of brilliant wings. And these butterflies are gorgeous. So what I did was I cut them out of white, just basic white cardstock. Okay. And I am going to use my little brush because these are detailed, right? So we're going to take these little bits out of our butterfly. Oh, hello. Whoops. Okay, so we're doing good. We got that part done. We got this part done. I have my pokey. Yeah, I do have my pokey tool right here. So let's use it. Just like that. And then this one. So these come out really nicely. A couple of these left. Okay. I'm just going to throw these little pieces away. Right. Now, I want to bring some color to these because white on white, not too exciting. So I'm going to use my blending brushes and some of our stamp pads. So I'm actually going to use these 3 blending brushes. Got everything bunched up here around me. And I'm going to use these 3 colors. I'm going to use Rich Razzleberry. So the Designer Series paper tells you all the colors that's in here. So I'm going to pick Poppy Parade, Mango Melody, and Rich Razzleberry out of here. So I'm going to open these up. I'm just going to do one at a time, actually. So I'm going to pull up some ink. Just pull in a little bit of that in the center. probably going to just use 2 colors on this one because it's so small. And on this one, I'm going to use 3 colors. Okay. So when you clean your brushes, I just clean them like that. I don't go to a big ordeal. And then I'm going to pull up some Poppy Parade. I don't clean my brushes. I just clean them on here and then go with it. So this is the one I use for reds. I don't want to smash down those little antennas. So, ooh, so pretty. So I think I'll go with that for that one. And then the last one I'm going to do is Rich Razzleberry. Put some Rich Razzleberry here at the bottom. Ooh, I'm liking that more and more. I'm going to have to do this more often. Oh, it's so pretty. And look, it made a cute stencil. All right, so clean my brushes. Clean this one. Clean this one. Okay. So now I get to adhere these, and I'm going to use some of our liquid glue. So I'm going to put these on my silicone mat. Now some of this is going to go off the page a little bit, right? So I just want to put glue just a tiny bit. Don't go crazy, because the more you do, it squishes out. I'm going to put here at the bottom, up to about there. I can always add some if I need to. I don't know how high to go, actually. I'll just do that for now. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this one up here. Hold it for a second because that liquid glue has to dry just a little bit. And then a little bit on the small guy. I love this white glue. I really do. It's a lot of control. Even though that's not the tiniest little hole, it's very easy to control. And then I'm going to hold that down with my silicone mat for just a second to let it adhere. Since that was a, the circle had the embossing folder on it, it's a little wavy, right? So I need to make sure that that glue sticks before I move it. Oh, so cute. Okay, it definitely needs a saying. Actually, I could put a little glue right there just so it doesn't, even though it's off, it's still on. Just so it doesn't tear. I'll make sure that that holds. Okay, so what am I going to use for my greeting? Well, I actually have a stamp set that I really like, and I don't use it that often. It's called Inspired Thoughts. And it's kind of a different kind of font. It's very straight, kind of not really me, but look at all those different sayings. So I'm thinking of you on your special day. Wow, that could be like a great birthday greeting. So thinking of you on your special day. And I'm gonna stamp that in Poppy Parade, because that's kind of, well, it's not, it's a bright color. I like it. It's bright. Okay, pick that up. This little tiny piece of white. Let's hope it's wide enough. I think it is. Thinking of you on your special day. Ooh, just fit. Wow. Could have inked it up a little better. Let's try the other side. Didn't really pick up ink on you that much on your special day. I think day needed a little more ink, so let's try it. If it doesn't turn out, I have the other side. It's okay, but it's not perfect. Okay, I like that better. It's a very light font. Okay, so it's not a thick font, but I like it. And I think I'm just going to fishtail one end of it. I'm going to go straight on the other side. And then I'm going to layer it on a little piece of Poppy Parade cardstock. Fishtail that also. And then put a couple dimensionals on there. Oh, yeah. That is so cute. So you have this as kind of a little sneak, like you could do something there if you wanted to. You know, you could put another butterfly there or just leave it. And then you also have the card that opens. So if you don't want to use a full card base, you could just use this part of the card and have this as the opening part. It's open to your eye, whatever you like. Now, if you want to do some embellishments, you could put some rhinestones on here. You could add a few more, some kind of anything really. You could just put little butterflies. I hope we have those little brass butterflies. Those would be cute on here. So I may add some of those, but I hope you enjoyed this card today and have a great spring. I'll see you on Friday. Bye.